Scorpio, hello and welcome to your fall 2024 shapeshift readings, where we're looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shapeshift looks and feels like for the fall season. I'm Andy, I'm your reader, and I'm joined today by the Willcox Tarot and Oracle deck. Okay, Scorpio. This deck was gifted to me for my birthday season from my favorite Scorpio. So let's see how it's going to speak to your shapeshift this fall. All right. Show us the shift for Scorpio. Gorgeous, the spider web. Scorpio, you got your own card. Are you serious? Okay, the spider web, the foundation, and Scorpio. So this deck has Zodiac, it has Major Arcana, and it has Major Arcana Tarot, and it has Oracle cards that the artist created. Okay, hold on. How does this need to go? Yeah. From theory into practice. What? That's what I just heard. Take a look at this. Let's look at this together. Scorpio here in the center, surrounded by the spider web and foundation. And honestly, I'm not sure which needs to go where. I'm sure it will evolve as we continue reading. Maybe the foundation is first and then spider web. I don't think it matters. This is not a linear shapeshift. It's one of those things where there's like just one message, and Scorpio, all of your eyes, look at all the eyes on the Scorpion, are awake and alive here in your season. And you are seeing very clearly the structures that are holding and the structures that are not. And I think you're starting to understand what it means to actually build a strong foundation, to actually build off of something that will stand the test of time. The dedication it takes to create a structure like that. And that kind of structure does not happen quickly, and it does not happen overnight. It's like, what's that thing? What's that phrase that it's like the Venn diagram of the three circles? It's like you can do something fast and cheap, but it won't be good. You can do something fast and good, but it won't be cheap. You can do something good and cheap, but it won't be fast. You know what I mean? It's that vibe where I think this fall you're starting to realize that, and you're starting to realize like where you need to put in the time to shore up your foundations, to make sure that what you are building is not just going to crumble again. Fast and cheap is not going to stand the test of time. And so there's something here about like playing the long game, Scorpio, taking your time to build it right this time. To build it right this time. You know, Scorpio, when I think of like a foundation that a Scorpio would build, I think much more of the spiderweb type. I just got network. Spider web network. Oh, that's interesting. That might be just a message for some of you, that like the net that you cast has to involve the network you are building, which is relationships. the relationships you are building has something to do with creating strong and lasting foundations. Okay, that was a specific message, but now I can't remember what I was saying. Right. This is the type of scorpionic structure I think of when I think of like Scorpio building a lasting foundation. But the spider web is a genius feat of structural engineering, of nature's structural engineering, to create this incredibly flexible, incredibly strong, but so lightweight that it's almost invisible home for a creature where it can get all of the sustenance it needs and weather the storms of life in that beautiful, flexible, etheric, but strong, silken structure. Okay, this is the spider web harkens back to the summer Leo shift reading called Create Your Space. So go find that reading and watch it, because I think this is talking about that for you, Scorpio. But then it's like, how do you take the idea of that and bring it into the real world with the actual foundation card here showing real material bricks, brick and mortar type stuff with the castle in the background as the goal. That's what you're trying to build. But this person is looking up in fear at the structure that maybe was previously built that has crumbled. Okay, that's interesting. Don't build your new structure based on the fears of the structures that have crumbled in the past. Don't build your new foundations only focusing on the fear of your past failures, or you might perceive them that way, or like the past structures in your life that have crumbled. Like I'm seeing you just like this person like building this foundation, like laying one brick at a time, being like, oh God, I hope it doesn't crumble this time, oh God. Whereas instead, you can look at what crumbled in the past and why from this more objective space, and just looking at it and being like, okay, I see that crumbled because it was built in this way. I built it in this way. Me and the people I was with built that thing like this, and that's why it didn't work. So now I have this incredible opportunity, Scorpio. It's like a do-over, second chance vibes. I have this chance now to start over, to build this new foundation from the ground up, to create my space that will, do you hear the ducks? That will hold me for generations to come, maybe. This is about your safety, your security, either like in the material world, in relationships, something like that. You're not gonna build on sandy land anymore, Scorpio. And I love how this reading is acknowledging like the different types of strength in a structure. There's the strength of like granite slabs, There's the strength of bricks, which is an incredibly strong earth material, that is for sure. And you do need that earth material around you to actually create like a physical home, like a physical structure, because we are like the most vulnerable mammals. Our skin is so thin, like we couldn't actually live in a spider web and like experience that kind of outside weather, because we're just like not evolving in that way. We need this like these safe walls around us. So I think that like thinking about things literally, materially, practically in that way is really, really on the table this fall, while also keeping that like more how do I want to say, like metaphorical, poetic, spiderweb type idea of the space, the structure that you are weaving as you build something, I think, very real and very tangible that is going to give you safety and security. With the spider web, I'm thinking about like its stickiness and getting caught, and I just heard like, don't get caught up. Focusing too heavy on the past. Don't build the new thing from the mistakes of the old, or from the fear of repeating those mistakes. Build the new thing with what you have learned from the things that crumbled in the past. It's a subtle difference, but a very important one, I think, this fall. Because again, I'm just feeling like you have a second chance right now in your life to start over, to build an actual foundation. I just saw the brick dissolving into sand. Don't let it fall through your fingers. If you get something very real, like I'm like looking at my hands, I'm seeing a chunk of money. For example, if you get something very real, something that could like, or like a house or like whatever, something that really could materially support you, Scorpio, don't just let it evaporate into, you have to find a place to turn it into brick and mortar. Interesting. If you get a chunk of money, turn it into brick and mortar. So we're talking about investments, and we're talking about like using your resources in a way that they don't just like immediately evaporate as soon as you get them, So if that means investing in like something tangible, like turning it into an investment, or like putting it into savings, or like investing it in, there's just something about investing your resources wisely this time around. For some reason, there's a this time around, because there's a second chance energy here in this reading. So that your resources are not going to just like mysteriously disappear, where you're like, I don't even know I had all this money and like I don't know where it went. Like, okay, we're gonna learn from the past, and we're not gonna do that again. We're not gonna be like terrified that you're gonna unconsciously do it, because you're gonna look at it square in the face and be like, this is why that money went away. Like, I want you to look at the thing and be like, this is why that crumbled. This is why that money went away. And that might mean taking some personal responsibility, Scorpio, which sucks, but I need you to do it. Or this is why that relationship crumbled. This is why that didn't work. Okay, got it. We're facing it honestly and squarely with some objectivity, and we're not here to like shame and guilt and do all that. We're just like brass tacks, looking at what happened, objectively talking about facts, so that you can build something now that will actually last. Okay, almost 13 minutes in, we got to get to clarifying. All right, so I've got the Aquarian Tarot, I've got the Poesis Oracle. We're going to use these other decks to get a lot more specific now about what this reading really means for you this fall, Scorpio. So if you'd like to join me for that, click the link in the description below, and that will take you to the shifting space. This is where we investigate these readings together throughout the season as a community. We will watch the readings together. We will pull cards for each other. It's a great space if you want to be a part of it. I hope to see you there. And Scorpio, this is your birthday season, so if you'd like a birthday reading with me, just book a full circle reading. It's kind of my thing. It's what I do. I love to look at the year ahead in tarot and astrology and see how they sync up. So again, link in the description. We'll take you there if you want a little birthday treat. Okay. Whew. Scorpio. I love that you're right at the center of this reading, because this second chance, Scorpio, this is about you now. Whatever that is, this is about you and what you want to build. Like maybe you've built things for other people or whatever. No, this is yours. This is for you. All eyes open, Scorpio. Let's go.